Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Enoshus and Balta. Today I want to show you how to open a sigil, how to make sigil magic without evoking the spirit, the demon, the angel or the spirit or the dead person. But anyway, the goal of this video is to show you how to draw, trace correctly a sigil with thick white paper and a black marker with a thick end on the marker. I've prepared everything on the altar. Now I'm gonna show you how to obtain a result with a chosen spirit. The importance in this kind of ritual is to choose a spirit, a demon or angel or spirit, regular spirit that has the ability to manifest what you ask. That is, it's his specialty. If you choose, for example, Belial to heal someone, it's maybe not the best choice you can make. But if you use the sigil of Belial for a court issue or an administrative or financial difficulties, it may be a good choice to choose the sigil of Belial. But today I'm going to choose the sigil of Paimon in the Goetia, because I know that Paimon is really good with manifesting money, good amounts of money and pretty fastly. But today my request is to have any amount of money that Paimon will think it's enough for my needs for the few days. I'm not asking any amount. It's better to do like that with demons. They prefer it. But I'm gonna show you each step to manifesting your desired goal with a simple sigil of your choice. Now I'm gonna use a black marker with a thick white paper to create my sigil. I've chosen the sigil of Paimon, and I'm gonna show you how to open the sigil after having drawn it, how to charge it with blood, and how to open it, and how to communicate with the spirit, the demon, in this case Paimon, without a full evocation, just by sigil magic. I didn't find my compass to make the circle, so I'm gonna borrow a equating technique using a CD to make the circle around the sigil. So I've chosen in the Goetia book by Aleister Crowley and S.L. McGregor Mathers. There are two different sigils for Paimon. I've chosen the first one. I prefer it a little bit. So first, I'm making the circle using a CD, but you can use a compass. It's better to make the thickened inner circle. So I place the CD on the paper and I trace the circle around it with a black marker. Now that I've done the first outer circle, I don't have a compass, so I'm gonna have to make it carefully to not be dirty and to be quite a true circle, and having the space to write the name of Paimon between the two lines. It's okay. I've done worse before. It's not perfect, but it's okay. The most important in magic is the intention. If you make some little mistakes, but you have the intention to do it right, the spirit won't notice it, or he will not tell you anything, because he will feel that you have the intention to do well. Now I'm gonna write the name of Paimon between the two circles, the P on the top, and the A here, the I here, the M below, the O, and the N. No, it's not the easiest sigil that I've chosen, but my intention is to make contact with Paimon for wealth and prosperity, and to have some money pretty swiftly if he agrees. But don't ask an amount. Let the demon guess for you and judge for you what you really need. If you are in need of financial, some money to help you live your life of every day. It's quite a complicated sigil. I'm gonna start by that. I didn't start really well with the first drawing, but it's okay. As I said, the intention and the authenticity of your will to obtain what you want through a sigil of a demon like Paimon
is more important than the perfect drawing. I'm not a very good drawer, but it should be okay. When you're drawing the sigil, start thinking to your final goal with the work with your chosen demon. Be in a meditative state. Breathe deeply and slowly. Inhale with your nostrils and exhale with your mouth like that. I'm making sure I didn't forget the detail on the sigil. It seemed okay. I could have done better, but like I said, my attention is here. So even if the drawing of the sigil is not perfect, it doesn't really matter if you have the will and your attention is pure. Now, I think I finished the sigil. Yes, it's over. So I decided to use a little bit of incense of copal resin on hot charcoal, like this. You take a disc of charcoal, you need a sensor like this one, and I'm gonna use the fire of the candle to ignite the coal. And with my kind of charcoal, I extinguished the candle. So I'm gonna use the other flame. I will light the red candle just later after having lighting the coal. With this kind of coal, I have to wait until it doesn't make sound anymore. If I'm not burning it enough, the incense will refresh the coal and it will extinguish the coal and there won't be smoke. So I make sure that I'm not extinguishing the flame. But the coal seems to be hot enough because I don't hear noise anymore. Now it starts to be red. I'm waiting a little bit before it becomes more red, and I'm lighting the red candle again. The incense is not obligatory, but it brings a lot of powerful energy into any rite. The smelling of the copper, the resin incense, plus the meditative state helps to increase the magical state and creates a gateway and a gift for the spirit in the same time. Now it's hot, probably enough. I'm gonna put some copper incense on the coal. The pieces are big, so I break it in little pieces. Because I bought a big pack of copper resin incense. However, the pieces are pretty big, so I encourage you, if you use bigger pieces of incense, to break it into little pieces to burn more efficiently on the coal. Add incense makes a lot of smoke. I encourage you to use true resin incense and not incense sticks that makes just a little bit of smoke and the smelling is less authentic. True resin incense like copper makes a thick smoke and the smelling is just incredible. I'm just looking for my lancet. I don't know where I put it. I should have checked it before the video starts. I'm sorry about that. Just 2 seconds. Maybe Paimon wants I make a sacrifice of blood with a little of pain. So I'm gonna use my dagger, my ritual dagger. And I can open the ritual by tracing an inverted pentagram above the altar. And I like to plant in the middle to activate the pentagram and open the ritual, breathing deeply and slowly and powerfully. I'm gonna cut my palm. You don't need to have a lot of blood. But the dagger is more painful than the lancet. But it's okay, the knife is sharp enough and it's a little bit of pain, but it's a nice sacrifice to do in exchange for such a manifestation of money from Paimon. I want a little bit that the blood goes out from my skin. I think it's enough blood. I put it on the sigil and I like to charge it with my left hand as I'm a black magician. The left hand is the hand of power. You just have to put above the sigil, if you prefer your right hand, the hand that sends energy. It's your choice, you can do it. But the true black magician likes to use his left hand as a left hand path that I'm working. I breathe slowly, I inhale. While I'm inhaling, I'm concentrating power in my head. Red power like the blood. And I make it go down by my left shoulder with the breathing. As I exhale, the energy goes down in my left arm. I can feel the energy in my arm going into my left hand. Another deep breathing. And now the red energy that I see with my inner vision goes into the sigil. And I put the most power, the most vital energy as a gift to Paimon to consecrate the sigil before using it to communicate with Paimon directly. While exhaling, visualize red energy coming from your left hand and going into the sigil in all the lines. I feel that the last breathing is needed and the sigil will be charged enough with vital and energy, force. Now the sigil is charged. Now, how to open the sigil? That is the question. If you never did do it before, you just have to gaze into the sigil in a meditative state, breathing slowly, inhaling with the nostrils and exhaling with your mouth. And while exhaling, you can imagine, or more than imagine, you can blow out your breath by your mouth, from your mouth, into the sigil, bringing power to it. And when you inhale, it's even more powerful. And when you exhale again, you bring even more power to the sigil. While I'm gazing into the sigil, it becomes blurry. I open it with my breath as well as with my eyes. I start to see it blurry. It's when you start to open the sigil. The cycles of breathing, bringing more and more power to the sigil. And now I forget about the breathing and I'm focusing on my goal. It's not a full evocation, it's only sigil magic. You can do great things without evoking completely the spirit. Of course, you can visualize in your inner vision maybe the face of Paimon, And now I'm gonna focus on my goal to have, if possible, money fast. And I'm not designing an amount that I impose to Paimon, but I let Paimon choose for me. He will know perfectly how much I really need to be comfortable for a few times. And while you're imagining that, you can imagine, while gazing at the sigil, bills of money, dollars, euros, pounds, any currency, or even gold and gems. Right now I see bills of euros falling above me in a great amount. And I'm asking, while gazing to the sigil of Paimon, I'm asking to Paimon, thank you Paimon, to manifest through this sigil. I can feel your energy. I'm asking you to bring me against my blood and this offering of incense and this little ceremony an amount of money sufficiently to be comfortable for a few times, but pretty swiftly if possible. Even if the amount is less important than if it took a few days more, I prefer swift money to be comfortable for my next days. I don't stop to gaze into the sigil. It's totally blurry. I'm more and more in a meditative state, in intense meditative state. The smelling of the incense helps a lot, and the candles, and the offering of blood with the pain of the knife on the palm of my hand. Paimon is grateful from me for choosing pain instead of the lancet that is not painful at all. The pain is part of the path working of the black magician. Even though it's psychological pain or physical pain, it brings power to the right. Now I imagine myself holding the many bills of 20 euros bills in my hand. I see myself putting it in my pockets. And now the goal that you must attain is to consider that you already have the money. Don't doubt. The confidence of the black magician is the key for successful magic. I'm keep going, I'm keep gazing at the sigil. I see myself, still myself, with more and more gold, money, pounds, dollars, any currency you want, that I put in my pocket. Now I feel that I'm gonna obtain what I ask for in my inner vision and in my words. And I can thank Paimon because I know it's gonna work. I'm sure about it. I don't doubt anymore now. When you're a dabbler, doubt is a big part of the story. But now, after 14 years of magic, I know that I already have the money. I don't know how I'm gonna have it, how it gonna comes to me. But I know I already have the money. And that's simple, quite simple. You can do that with any sigil for any different goals. Choose a spirit in accordance with your goal. Paimon is pretty good for bringing a lot of money really fast. And now I'm finishing the rite by saying the words, and so it is done and can be undone. And I'm keeping the sigil until I get the money in my pockets. And when I will have materialized this money through the power of Paimon, I will burn this sigil to close the gate. But some magicians prefer to burn it right after getting into it. But I prefer to burn it after the manifestation has come. Because if there is any problem you feel, you can gaze again at the sigil. And it's the same energy that the initial rite that I've just done now. Thank you to watch the video and put a like if you want other magical techniques to learn free. Thank you to everyone. See you in the next video.